Hi, everybody. My name is Heather Pearson, and I'm an international admissions counselor at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. I'm really excited to share some information about the university today. I hope it gets you excited and wanting to learn more about us. So first of all, I want you to meet the team that I'm a part of. We are the International Admissions and International Education and Engagement team. And the three of us work to support students all the way through the application process and through their time at UWL. As I mentioned, my name is Heather Pearson, and I'm your internal person. So I answer questions from inquiries, I process applications and make admission decisions, I issue immigration documents and send them to students, and I answer all those questions about those next steps. My colleague Kelsey Jones is also an international admissions counselor, and he is more of our external person. And so you will see him at school visits, at college fairs, giving presentations. He's really the one who travels and meets people in their home countries. Lastly, Miranda Panzer is an international student advisor, and she is the person that you interact with the most while you're here at UWL. You probably first meet her during orientation when she's telling you all the do's and don'ts about your immigration requirements and helping you adjust to being at UWL and being in the United States. But during your time here, she helps you stay compliant with your visa. She also helps you answer questions about employment, CPT and OPT, leaving the country and then coming back under your student visa, and all of those types of things. So the three of us together as a team really work to support students at UWL. Let's start with the big picture. Where are we located? We are in the state of Wisconsin and in the city of La Crosse. So as you look at this map of the United States, you'll see Wisconsin as a green colored state in the northern part of the United States, right next to Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois. You'll also see a red star there. That is where the city of La Crosse is located. We sometimes joke that we are located on the west coast of Wisconsin, and that is actually true, but not the west coast that many students think about when they think about the US. La Crosse is a smaller city, and so you're going to have a lot of the benefits of being in a small, safe, community-based city. However, we also know that while you are in the US, you may want to go to some of the bigger cities or need to go to some of the bigger cities. So for example, you can see here our driving distance to Chicago, Madison, and Minneapolis, and to see that that's actually not that far away. It's very easy to get to those cities through driving, through regional buses, through the Amtrak train system, and so those are possibilities for an evening or a weekend trip. You also can see that we're a further distance away from places like New York City, Seattle, LA, places like that. You're probably not going to drive to those places, but with a regional airport in the city, it's also really simple to get to them when you want to take a vacation to a bigger city. So the city of La Crosse, Wisconsin, I mentioned that it is a smaller city. We have about 52,000 people in La Crosse. What that means for you is you have a lot of the benefits of a bigger city, but more of the comforts of a smaller town. So with 52,000 people, there's not really such a thing as rush hour traffic. It's easy to get from end to end of La Crosse. You're going to feel a real sense of community. You're going to see a lot of the same people over and over again. And you're going to find those favorite locations, your favorite restaurant, your favorite coffee shop, your favorite park to hike through, your favorite outdoor location. And those are going to become really familiar to you. You're also going to feel really safe in La Crosse. We have a very low crime rate. And if anything, you're going to be overwhelmed with what we call Wisconsin friendliness or Midwestern friendliness. People who just stop and talk to you and are curious about who you are, where you came from, and really want to be a part of your experience here. I mentioned regional buses and Amtrak trains and a regional airport. Those are some of the many ways that you can get to and from La Crosse and how you can get around within the city. So our regional airport has flights that come in from Minneapolis, Detroit, and Chicago on a daily basis. And from those airports, you can get to many of the other places around the United States. So when you come to UW-La Crosse, you just have to get yourself to one of those airports and then come down to La Crosse. And as you want to travel, you can take a flight from our regional airport pretty much anywhere around the US. We're on the Amtrak train line, and that is a really popular way for people to travel throughout the US. We have both local and regional buses, and so the local buses will take you throughout the city of La Crosse, and the regional buses will take you throughout the state. So maybe you have a friend who's studying in Madison or Milwaukee or Eau Claire, The buses would take you there so you could visit them on the weekend. And of course, we have great city transportation through Uber and Lyft as well. The two largest industries in La Crosse are education and healthcare, and those are really vital to who we are as a university and as a city. We have a large number of hospitals and clinics within our area focused on Gunderson Health System and Mayo Clinic Health System. Now, you might think that's really great if I'm interested in a health-related profession, but what if I'm not? When you think about how a hospital operates, it isn't just doctors and nurses and other people in healthcare, although they are vital parts. It's also people with backgrounds in computer science and information systems, in management and marketing, in communications, in psychology, in a wide variety of different areas. And so as you think about the employment and the internship opportunities, those healthcare facilities are great resources. Education is also one of our largest industries, and I think that's important because that is why you are choosing us. You are valuing the education you will receive at University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. And the fact that it's one of our largest industries really talks about how the community embraces our students and helps really focus on giving them opportunities like volunteerism, employment, internships, mentorship, all of those things that you need as a student to make you successful. There are, of course, other industries in the city of La Crosse, and several companies are headquartered in our city, again, giving students opportunities for internships and potential employment after graduation. La Crosse, Wisconsin is also known for its scenic beauty. We are in a very unique location. The west side of La Crosse is right alongside the Mississippi River, and so when you come to La Crosse for your orientation, one of the first things you will do is go on a riverboat cruise. So you'll get to be on a large boat that's taking you down the Mississippi River, and you're going to get to see just the beautiful skyline. We also have an area called Grandad Bluff, and that's on the east side of the city. A bluff is really a large hill that you climb with an overlook. And when you get to the top and you look out over Grandad Bluff, you are going to see the whole city sprawled out before you. So you'll look down and see all of the university facilities, the downtown area, the residential areas. You'll look a little bit further out and you'll see the Mississippi River. You'll look a little bit further out and you'll see Minnesota. So both of those are very popular sites for our students, but that isn't all that we have. There's also a lot of bike trails and opportunities for canoeing and kayaking. And so if you really enjoy outdoors, La Crosse is a city that really supports that. One of the other great things about studying in La Crosse, Wisconsin is that you get to experience all 4 seasons. So think about your hometown. How many seasons do you have? For many of our international students, it isn't 4 distinct seasons. It might be 1 or 2 really distinct seasons. But coming to La Crosse allows you to experience the coldness of winter. So you have snow and cold, and you do ice skating and skiing and sledding and snowball fights and building a snowman, all of those things that come with the fun of winter. You also have spring when the snow melts and everything starts to grow and come alive. You have warm summers that can sometimes be as hot as summer is back home for you, where temperatures can easily get to between 30 and 40 degrees on a regular basis. And then the fall season, when the leaves start to change color and fall off the trees, it starts to get a little bit cooler and it prepares for that next season of winter. All of the things I've just described explain why the city of La Crosse has been ranked one of the top college towns in America by the American Institute for Economic Research. The University of Wisconsin-La Crosse is located right in the heart of the city. We aren't far from the vibrant downtown area, but we're also in more of a residential area, really giving students a nice neighborhood feel when they're at the university. This is a map of our campus, and I wanted to show you just so that you can see how compact the campus is. So the majority of the buildings on the internal part of this map are your classroom buildings and your library and your student union. So where you spend a lot of time during the day. The buildings on the outer side of the campus, the exterior part, are your dormitories. So you kind of live right on the outskirts, on the edges of the campus, and then you go inside for your classes. At UW-La Crosse, we are considered a mid-sized university. We have a total enrollment of about 10,500 students. And what's nice about that is there are enough students that you're always going to meet new people, and They're going to come from a lot of different places. You can see that we have 42 states represented and 43 countries represented. So you really get introduced to a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds. However, you'll also see that our focus is on undergraduate education. Over 9,600 of our students are pursuing bachelor's degrees. So if you are a student just finishing secondary school or considering transferring in, a lot of the student body is going to look very similar to you, similar in age and similar in academic goals. However, we do also have almost 1,000 students enrolled in our graduate programs. For international students, the most popular graduate programs that we offer are biology, software engineering, data science, and statistics. However, as you'll see coming up, there are a lot of other graduate programs that you can choose from as well. We focus on individual attention with an average class size of 29 students. What that means is you are more than just a student at the university. Your professor will know you by name. You will get to know your classmates. And when you're in class, you'll feel comfortable asking a question, participating in a discussion, being called on to answer a question. It's really going to create that interactive learning experience for you. We have typically about 100 international students. And because of the diversity of where they come from, you really do get viewpoints from all around the world. A few rankings about UW-La Crosse that we think are really wonderful. We've been ranked a best value college for under $30,000. It seems as though that's always a really important statistic to share because economies are always going through ups and downs, and often other currencies are not necessarily as strong against the US dollar as you would hope. By keeping our tuition as inexpensive as possible, we really hope to make your education affordable for you and your family. US News and World Report has ranked us the #6 top public regional university in the Midwest. So for the middle part of the United States, we are one of the top public regional universities there. We've held a ranking in the top 10 for a number of years. And really what this speaks to is the quality of the education you receive at UW-La Crosse compared to our peers in the region. We've also been noted for our amazing undergraduate research programs that pair you up with one of your professors to conduct hands-on research in your field of study. We've been noted for diversity on campus, and you'll really see that in the faculty that are hired, in the students that are present on campus. You'll see that in racial and ethnic diversity, but in a lot of other definitions of diversity as well. And lastly, we have a really good ranking for part-time employment on campus. This is especially important to you as an international student because your student visa does not allow you to have a job off campus. So while your American friends may work at a local restaurant or at the mall or your favorite coffee shop, you can't work at those places, unfortunately. But there are a lot of jobs available on campus. And so if working is important to you to make some additional money while you're at UW-La Crosse, know that you will be able to find a job on campus, and your student visa permits you to work up to 20 hours per week. So here's a list of our undergraduate programs. For each of these programs, you would earn a bachelor's degree. We have over 100 different undergraduate programs available. And the way that we get to that number is not just to look at the majors that are listed here, but to know that for most of them, there are areas of emphasis. So for example, if you decide to pursue a major in biology, you could choose just a very standard biology major, but you could also choose a focus in biomedical science or cellular biology or environmental biology or other areas of focus. So for most of the academic programs that you see here, there will be areas of specialization within them. You'll notice that we offer a wide variety of programs. Just looking at the groupings here, a lot of programs in our College of Business Administration, a wide variety of programs in arts, social sciences, and humanities, including really unique ones like archaeological studies and public administration, a really vibrant College of Arts and Communication, a very strong program in science and health, including some unique programs like clinical laboratory science and radiation therapy. We offer strong teacher education programs and some opportunities for dual degrees where in many of those cases, you earn both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree while you are at UW-La Crosse. I mentioned some of the popular graduate programs for our international students, and here you can see the full list of programs. Most of our programs are offered on our campus, and so you come to the US and study with us on campus. However, for those of you that prefer an online program, you'll also notice online programs in areas like cybersecurity, data science, healthcare administration, information technology management. Those are the types of programs that you may need as a working professional, but you're not prepared to leave your job to come to the US to pursue those degrees. Through our online format, you get really strong training in a field that's of importance to your career, and you're able to do it online through UWL. If you study at our university, we strongly recommend living in one of our dormitories for at least your first year. Our housing office prioritizes the needs of international students because we know that more so than any other student, you really are coming to a new environment when you begin your university studies, and we want to make it as easy of a transition for you as possible. At UWL, we have 10 different dormitories that students can live in, and you truly can choose from any of the dormitories. However, we focus on 2 specific dormitories for our international students, knowing that this gives you a little bit more freedom and a little bit more personal space, which may be important to you as you're living on your own for maybe your first time. The first dormitory that we recommend is Eagle Hall. Eagle Hall is a suite style dormitory, and what that means is there are 2 rooms that are joined together by a common bathroom. And so you don't have that larger community bathroom down at the end of the hallway. It's really an enclosed area with 2 rooms, and then you and your roommates share that bathroom. Typically, each of those rooms will have 3 people in it, so you and 2 other roommates, and then 3 other people in the other room. And so it does create a feeling of community, but not a sense of being too close to each other. It still gives you a lot of space to rest and relax, to hang out with other friends, and still then to be able to connect with your roommates when you want to. These are some pictures of Eagle Hall. It is actually our newest dormitory, and so a lot of the facilities there are new and modern. The second option we encourage our international students to consider is Reuter Hall. Reuter is an apartment building on campus, and so there are 4 rooms in each apartment, and each student has their own room. So you would have your own personal bedroom, and then 3 apartment mates would each have their own bedroom, and then the 4 of you would have apartment facilities that you would share with a kitchen, a living room, and a bathroom. This could be a great option, especially if you want to cook your own meals. So for many of our students, they might want certain meal preferences, or just to be sure that they're getting the kind of food that they want to cook it themselves rather than going through dining services. And so if that is you, having an apartment with a kitchen can be a great option. These are some pictures of Reuter Hall, so you can see how the apartments are set up. We have great dining services available on campus, and every student can choose to participate in a meal plan. If you live in any dormitory outside of Reuter Hall, we do require the meal plan, simply because you don't have facilities that are adequate to cook for yourself. With the plan that you get, it's called the Eagle Dining Plan. You have unlimited access to the Whitney Center main dining room, which is a cafeteria style dining place. So imagine all sorts of different entrees, burgers and fries, pizza, healthy options, a salad bar, soups, desserts, beverages, all of those different things. And you really can go as often as you want and select whatever you want while you are there. You also have a little bit of what we call maroon dollars, which give you the option to eat at places outside of that cafeteria, and we swipe your card and it's deducted from that balance. You can also eat in some of the other dining areas on campus. So we have a food court and other restaurants, and your meal plan allows you several meals from those places as well each week. And then lastly, we have guest meals. So if, for example, you have a friend who's studying in Minneapolis, and that friend comes to visit you for the weekend, you can take them dining with you at any of our dining locations. We can swipe the card, and then you're able to treat your friend to a meal. We do have Starbucks on campus, and so if you're a fan of Starbucks and just want to pick up your latte on the way to class, you can do that. There are also a lot of local coffee shops nearby. We focus on a variety of different cuisine, and so for example, if you require vegan, vegetarian, halal, gluten-free, or other meal preferences, know that our dining services are able to provide that for you. And we also have a campus food pantry. This is a very unique thing that we offer. where donations are taken of different types of food items. And then those are made available to students who may not have the money to go grocery shopping for those additional groceries that they need. And so it allows you to go into the food pantry on designated days and times, and just to get food that help you make sure that you have enough meals throughout the day at UWL. We have a lot of support for our students, and that includes everything from international education and engagement, where Miranda, who I introduced to you, will help you navigate all of the different steps of being an international student. They also do a lot of cultural programming and award scholarships for students. The Academic Advising Center helps you pick your classes each semester so you stay on track for your degree. Disability Services works with students who have diagnosed learning or physical or other disabilities to make sure that accommodations are provided to help that student be successful at UWL. First Year Experience is a program that creates different types of sessions and classes and events to help students on both the social integration to the university and just learning kind of everything about the campus. So it's really meant to be first year experience transitions. We have over 200 student organizations. So whether you are a musician, an athlete, you enjoy debate, you are part of a particular faith, or many other things, you can join a student organization that connects you with other students who share that same interest. My advice to students is always join 2 clubs. Join one club that connects you with people that do an activity that you already know you're going to love. You know, if you really enjoy being outdoors, join the Outdoor Adventures Club, because then you're going to go camping and whitewater rafting and all those types of things with people who enjoy doing that along with you. But also try something new. For example, we have a student organization that is a cheese appreciation club. So Wisconsin is a dairy state, and we are known for our really good cheese. This student club gets together and samples different cheeses and does cheese-related activities. It's kind of a silly club, but it might be something fun to try just to learn a little bit more about the local culture. We also have intramural and sports clubs that range from very competitive to not at all competitive. So if you enjoy just being a physically active student, definitely join one of those. And then a lot of performing arts. We have bands, we have orchestras, we have choirs, we have plays, we have musicals. And these are all opportunities that you can try out for and participate in, even if you're not majoring in something like theater or music. All students are welcome. We also do a lot to help you with your steps after you graduate. We hope that you have an amazing time at UWL and that you choose us really based on wanting to have those experiences. But we also know that when you graduate, you hope to get into a graduate school program or to find employment. And so it's our job to help prepare you for that. Our Career Services Office will do a lot of different things, such as resume writing workshops, doing mock interviews, and then sitting down with you and analyzing them and helping you figure out how to make your interview even stronger. Etiquette dinners. You might think, well, I have really good etiquette, but do you know how to conduct a business meeting with a formal dinner where there's a lot of different silverware and a lot of different dishes, and you really want to eat it all, but you also need to talk and make your points? The etiquette dinner really shows you how to navigate all of that. Handshake is a resource that helps you look for internships and jobs both on campus and in the community. We have large graduate fairs, professional school fairs, and internship fairs on campus. And that basically brings those groups to a large ballroom where you can then walk around and learn more about them and do some initial interviewing and potentially find the graduate program you want to apply for or secure an internship for the summer. We have a 98% placement rate for our graduates, meaning within 1 year, 98% of our students indicate to us that they are either employed or they are pursuing further education. We are really proud of that because what it tells us is that the experiences we are giving you in the classroom, through research opportunities, through internships, through just the different types of involvement on campus, are creating the type of individual that is really desirable to graduate school programs and to employers. These are a couple of students from India who have attended UW-La Crosse, and these are just some answers that they gave to some basic questions to explain why they came here, what kind of advice they have, what their experience was like. These are both graduates of the university, and so they had an amazing time here, and now they are off pursuing those next steps in their lives. One of the unique things that we are able to offer you at UWL is the Friends of International Students and the Global Buddies program. So these programs connect you with students and with community members in our area from the very beginning. I think sometimes the scary thing about coming to the United States is that you're leaving something very familiar and going to something very unfamiliar, right? And while you might have a lot of friends and be surrounded by your family back home, when you come here, you don't know anybody yet. And you know that you're going to meet people and eventually it'll be okay. But those first few days and weeks can be really hard. So through these two programs, we aim to connect you immediately with people. The Friends of International Students is a host friend program in our community. It's not a program, it's not a homestay program where you would live with that family. You would still live in the dormitory, but they would welcome you into their home for dinners, to spend holidays with them, to do game nights or movie nights, to do things that are more unique to the United States, carve pumpkins for Halloween, eat a big dinner for Thanksgiving, things like that. So in a lot of cases, the families say that the students truly become their international sons and daughters, and the students keep in touch with these families long after they graduate from UWL. The Global Buddies program connects you with a current UW-La Crosse student, typically an American student who really is interested in learning more about cultures outside of their own. So initially you meet and you just are able to get to know each other and ask each other questions, but that often evolves into a friendship where you find some areas of common interest and you decide to go hiking together or to sit in a coffee shop and just catch up together, to listen to live music together, to become study partners. And so through both of these programs, you start to get connected to some of these long-lasting friendships. All right, we're going to talk now about the application process for both undergraduate and graduate admission. Both of them are similar in the sense that you apply online at apply.wisconsin.edu. That is the University of Wisconsin System's application for admission. Each of the programs has an application fee, and for undergraduate admission, that is a $25 application fee. We will ask you to provide a copy of the credential you received when you finished your secondary school education. So we've got a number of them listed there. We also know that students do a lot of different types of education. And so if your credential isn't listed there, it may still be the one that we want to receive. Typically, what I tell students from India is we want the credential you received at the end of year 10 and at the end of year 12 if you have already graduated from secondary school. If you are a transfer student and so you have attended another college or university in the US, in India, or somewhere else, we will also want a copy of your transcripts from that school. We do look for evidence of English proficiency, and that can be shown through a TOEFL score of a 73 or an IELTS score of 6.0. We know that many of our applicants from India are very fluent in English. We do still ask you to take one of these examinations just as an additional reinforcement of your level of English proficiency. We also ask you to show proof of funding for your education and a copy of your passport photo page. Most of the students that we admit as undergraduate students have a GPA of a 2.5 on a 4-point scale, or a grade of 50% out of 100%. It could be a student who is in the second class, who has a C1, or a 5 pass with credit or better. A lot of these are dependent upon the particular type of examination or educational system you are using. For graduate admission, it's that same application. The application fee is a little bit more, $56. We do not need your secondary school credentials. However, we will have you submit your college or university transcripts. And if you have completed that education, a copy of your bachelor's degree diploma as well. The English proficiency is a little bit more on the TOEFL, either a 79 TOEFL or a 6.0 IELTS. And again, proof of funding and a passport copy. For graduate admission, often additional items are required, and that could include letters of recommendation or a personal statement or a resume. Not many of our programs have standardized test requirements, but all programs will accept GRE as supplemental material if you have taken it. Most students that are admitted to our graduate programs will have a GPA of a 3.0 or higher on a 4-point scale, a percentage of at least 45% out of 100, or a 7 out of 10 from an Institute of Technology. Some of our graduate programs tend to admit students who meet the minimum requirements. Some of our graduate programs are more selective and competitive, and so the higher the academic credentials, the better the likelihood of admission. This is our estimated cost for 2021-22. You can see them grouped there by undergraduate and graduate. And note that the main differences are in the tuition fees that you pay and for the housing, knowing that in either case, you can choose either dormitory. We just know that many undergraduate students prefer the suite style and many of our graduate students prefer the apartment style. The meal plan would be the same and health insurance would be the same. So your total for 1 year is about $27,725. And for graduate, about $31,215. We also just indicate an estimate for personal expenses so that at the bottom you can see the total that we have you show for your I-20 immigration document. We also have an ESL program, and that will run for summer 2021 and fall 2021. The fees for that are still being developed. However, you can see that all the other fees would remain the same for you. For undergraduate students, we have several scholarship opportunities available. When you are admitted, if you have the equivalent of a 3.0 GPA, you can apply for our Vice Chancellor Scholarship for new international students. This scholarship ranges from $2,000 to $5,000 per year and is renewable. This is a scholarship that often is a guaranteed scholarship as long as you meet the minimum requirements and you submit the application. During your first semester at UWL, you can apply for the iEngage Scholarship. This is a scholarship that both looks for a GPA of a 3.0, so academic achievement, but also looks for a commitment to be involved in cultural activities on campus and in the community. So it's got both the academic component and the cultural component. Students who receive this scholarship can receive as much as $2,000 per semester, and as long as they continue to meet the requirements and receive the scholarship, that equals about $4,000 per year. You can stack both of those scholarships, so you could receive both of them. And then lastly, there are foundation scholarships available. Those really vary in terms of requirements and the amount that you receive in the scholarship, but they're also more broad in who can apply for them. So when you go to the website on the screen, you can do different searches. So you can search based on your academic program. So maybe enter computer science if that's what you're pursuing. You can enter a characteristic about yourself, like international student. Maybe there's something you really enjoy, like music. Put music in and see if they might have a scholarship available for someone who is interested in sharing their musical talent at the university. So each of those scholarships has unique application criteria. And again, you can stack those scholarships with each other or with the other ones I mentioned here. One of the nice things about being a university student is that we provide a lot of free things for you. So as a student at UW-La Crosse, you have a free membership to our fitness center. We call it the Rec Center. And that gives you access to cardio equipment, to free weights, to a running track, a basketball court, a swimming pool, and many other facilities just to keep you a very physically active and healthy person. You get to see free movies on campus. Every weekend we show a variety of newer movies and fan favorite movies. We make some popcorn, and so you can gather with your friends and watch a movie for free. You can cheer on the UW-La Crosse Eagles with free admission to all of our athletic events. So you can experience American football, baseball, soccer, or regular football as a lot of the world calls it. You can cheer for the softball team, the volleyball team, the basketball team, all sorts of different sports, free of charge with your ID. You can use your student ID to ride the city buses free throughout the city. They pick you up at different locations on campus, and they take you downtown and to the mall and other areas you might want to visit throughout the city. We have an app called TV Anywhere that you can download that allows you to watch cable TV through your smartphone or through your tablet free of charge. And there's always more things. I think one of the greatest things about being a university student, in addition to the great education that you get, is looking around for events on campus and all of the free stuff that they offer to students when they attend those events. Some good ways to stay connected with UW-La Crosse are to connect with us through social media. You can connect with us through our Facebook page, through TikTok, through Instagram, through YouTube. There's all sorts of different ways where you can get updates and see current content of what's going on at UW-La Crosse. We also encourage you to connect with our student ambassadors. If you go to our admissions site and then go to international students, a little icon will pop up that allows you to connect with what we call our Unibuddy campus ambassadors. We have one of the students featured here who is a biology major, actually from India. If you want to talk to somebody from your home country just to learn a little bit more about her experiences, you'll be able to do that. but you'll also see a lot of other students with varied background. And so maybe rather than talking with somebody from your home country, you want to talk to somebody who shares an extracurricular interest or an academic interest. And you'll see through all the students that there's a variety represented. You can text with them, WhatsApp with them. They post a lot of videos and photos and blogs. And so it's really a great way, besides somebody like me who's an admissions counselor, to really hear about the student experience at UWL. This was a lot of information that was shared with you, and I've really enjoyed it. I hope that you've learned a lot about UW-La Crosse and that you are eager to start those next steps of asking more questions, maybe starting to prepare an application. And I'm really the one who's here to help you with that. So I encourage you to reach out to me through email at hpearson@uwlax.edu. You can ask me any question about the university and I'm happy to respond and help you see if we are a good fit for you. I also encourage you just to go to our homepage and snoop around. Type different things into the search engine, look up your academic program, chat with the Unibuddies, and really find out if UW-La Crosse is the right fit for you. I want to thank you for taking the time to attend the presentation, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Bye now.